Gracie, did you get everything out so we could start cooking? It's starting to get late. Yeah. You better have. I'm coming on in the kitchen now. Here I come. Well, yeah. She got out a marinating bag. That was nice of her. She got out the 8x8 baking dish. She got out our proteins. Yeah, let's see what she picked. Oh, okay. She's got her some boneless pork chop and some chicken thighs. I know that's one of hers and the kitty crew's favorite. And they picked the dressing we're going to be using to cook it in tonight. Oh, she even didn't forget the cooking spray, so we don't got to scrub our dish. And just in case we wanted some extra, some salt and pepper. It looks like that's all there, because it's even so easy, Gracie could do it. And maybe Cleo too. So hey, now if my friends and family would stop by, we'd be ready to go for another episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. What's you cooking in the little old country kitchen? Oh, there you are, friends and family. As always, I see you snuck by the kitty crew. And of course, probably bribed them with some treats. Hey, it's the second time you've been here today. Weren't you here earlier when I was showing you the dressings I had on hand, trying to use up? Not that they're any particular favorites of mine, it's just what I had. And I had 4 to choose from. So to really know what this is all about, you probably need to go and watch the previous episode. But yeah, it looks like Gracie got everything out. And as always, you're always welcome here with us in the little old country kitchen. So yeah, let me show you what she's got out and what we'll be doing tonight. Hey, it's so easy, especially for novice cooks, people just, beginning cooking. I used to even let my kids help and do it. It's just that easy. So come on over, take a look. So as always, Gracie this time was kind enough to get it all set out. Yep, she's got a plastic Ziploc for marinating our meats, or our proteins, as the professional foodies say. Yeah, and she picked out 2 of her favorites. Boneless pork chops. Yeah, we're using 2 proteins, i.e. meats. And, oh yeah, the kitty crew and her favorite of all times, chicken. She picked her out a pack of chicken thighs. And she's got our bacon dish over there, ready to go. And our dressing we'll be using is from the Wishbone family. Avocado oil dressing, made with avocado oil, of course. It's a blend. Garden herb vinaigrette. Yum-o. Yeah, I know. It's got no trans fat, 0 cholesterol. Is it the healthiest thing on the planet? Not at all. But when you ain't got the time and every minute counts, rather than make up my own, which I do many times, this is just one of those time-saving measures that come in handy. Sometimes. Yeah, she even remembered to get out the cooking spray. So the old man don't got to work so hard cleaning up the dish. And as always, she knows I love pepper. And she's got the salt, because Gracie knows it's a flavor enhancer too. So let me get this meat unpackaged. I'm going to be spraying up the dish. Y'all know how. And we'll get back to getting this meat ready to marinate, because it's got to marinate for at least an hour to get the goodness in. And if you want more flavor, more deeper in depth, you can marinate it overnight if you want. But we're getting hungry and it's getting late. We ain't got time for all of that. Well, we've got our meat unwrapped and ready to go. And what we're going to be using today is 4 boneless pork chops and 2 bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. Yeah, and it's easy. Just drop your pork chops on in there. right like that, and these are thin. So I'm going to show you a trick so they'll cook it as evenly as the chicken thighs, because they're thick. Yep. Get them on in there, and you can see these ain't none of them little chicken thighs. They're nice and thick. And like I say, we're going to be cooking with the bone in and the skin on, because that'll just add more flavor. And if we don't like the skin, which the kitty crew will love, we'll take it off before we serve it on up. They won't mind. So we just get that on in the bag. Excuse me. While I put the bowl in the sink, wash it up, and my hands. So we got our hands all washed up and ready to go. And I would definitely advise you to, anytime you handle raw meat, especially chicken and pork, to do that. You don't want to be spreading none of that there salmonella around. Okay, youngins? And make sure you give your dressing the proper shake up. You know, you can hum your favorite song. So I think that's enough. That's what makes it so easy. And then we're just going to take the old garden vinaigrette, and it's just loaded up with spices. Yes, it is. And this will conserve some of the vinaigrette. Yeah, we didn't use that much. It'll be just fine. The meat doesn't have to be floating in there. Nope, just got to have enough to coat it and let it marinate in. And now, you know, close up your Ziploc bag. Take some air out of it. Close it up some more. Compress it some more. Get that air out as much as you can. Make sure this thing is all sealed up tight. And just work it around in that fine garden herb vinaigrette. And now it's ready to go back in the fridge for at least an hour before we get baking it in the oven, which will be preheated to 350. Yes, it will. And while this is marinating, I gotta think about my sides for tonight. I wonder what you would do. As always, you can let me know in the comments below the video. So hey, think about them sides, and I'll be thinking about them too, and we'll see you back in an hour. Okay? Well, we've got the oven heating up. We've decided on our sides. Now all we gotta do is get the chicken and pork chops out and put them in the dish and get them in the oven. So let's get them out of the fridge. Ooh, they're chilly. Yes, they are. Oh yeah. Nice and chilly. Get these on opened up. Bend their bag down here a little bit. Make it a little easier to snatch them out of there. And so I don't got to get all gooey and everything. I've got a pair of tongs. Yep. Ooh, let's change this around. Let's get the dish here. Or maybe y'all can see. Let me check. Yeah, I guess you can. Of course, it ain't hard. And what we're going to be doing is placing in those chicken thighs, skin side up. We've got to find that other one down in here. Ooh, they're starting to smell pretty darn tasty. We'll see. Fit them in right there all nice and comfy. You see that? Now like I said, these pork chops are rather thin. So they'll cook a little faster if I leave them this way, just like that. So we're going to tuck them in, just like that. We're going to take another one and place it right on top. This is a trick I learned from the chef. It increases the mass and slows down the cooking process, it does. Well, these two stuck together anyway, so that'll be just fine. And if you want to, you can pour some of that vinaigrette that's still in the bag over the top. But let me rinse off my tongs and toss the bag. I think that'll be enough. And I'll show you what we got. So, I think you can see how they're in there. And that, if you can't, let me show them to you. I double stacked those boneless pork chops to increase the thickness. So now they're about the same thickness as the chicken thighs. So they'll cook more evenly. That's just one of them pro tricks I learned. And now what I'm going to do is cover them with some foil. Yeah, that'll keep the moisture in, or most of it. And I'll uncover them for the last 15 or 20 minutes of the cooking process. Like I said, these are going to go in the oven, preheated to 350, for approximately an hour. But I will be checking them with a meat thermometer, because you want to make sure you cook your chicken and pork, especially to 165, to make sure it's done and safe for you to consume. So let's get some foil and cover it up. And like I say, it won't be on there for the whole cooking time, but with meats, this keeps most of all of that moisture in if you wrap it nice and tight. And that, tight being the key. Yeah, so if yours ever dry out, maybe keep it covered for most of the time. Let me get it in that oven right now. Ooh, that oven's toasty. Yep, she's just right. Put it in the oven, centered on the center rack. And there we have it. We're all going to be ready to eat in about an hour or so. And we'll be back to start plating it up. Well, it's been in the oven for about a little over 45 minutes. So, we're going to take it out, uncover it. And since we do got it out, we'll take our handy dandy old school meat thermometer. You use what you got, but definitely get you one. And see what the temperature is, so we can sort of adjust the timing. So yeah, let me get that out. Y'all stand back. You know it's going to be hot. Oh yeah. Oh my, it's starting to smell tasty. Oh yeah. Get it right over here. And always be careful when you're taking off the foil, because some steam's gonna come out. Yeah, buddy. Did you see that? There we go. Yeah, starting to smell fine. Well, let's stick a thigh in the thickest place. Don't get the bone. And see what it says. Because every oven cooks differently. You know, I say about an hour. It all depends on how your oven cooks. Well, let me show you just where we're at, because I think the timing's going to be just about right. You see there? We're at 170 now, so it should be done. Now we're just going to stick it back in for another 15 while we check on our sides. But I'm going to leave the foil off, so hopefully it'll crisp up some. But I think it'll be just fine. I'm going to save the skin for the kitty crew. They're waiting on it outside. Remove our meat thermometer. You don't want to put that back in there. And we'll get her on in the oven again. Reset the timer. Be careful now, because it's got some juice. Add a couple minutes back to the timer where we were checking the temp, and we'll be back when it's all done. Oh, well, there's the timer. It's been in there exactly 1 hour. I better get it out. Hold on. Whoop, drop my towel. Gotta have my tea towel. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Looking fine. Put a hold on that oven. Turn the little beans down. There we go. Let me show you what we got. Like I showed you when we checked the temperature, it was at 170, so it was technically done. But I wanted to brown that skin a little, and that's exactly what we did. Now it's just time to plate it all up. So before we get our chicken or our pork, depending on what we want tonight, let's get aside and start preparing it and get them done before we choose which protein, i.e. meat, that we're going to eat tonight. Because what you're seeing is 4 meals worth of meat for me. I'll have 1 chicken thigh per meal or 2 of the boneless pork chops. And we decided to have a baked potato. I went ahead and did 2. I don't need a big giant one. These medium ones will work just fine for 1 meal. And they're a little toasty. And that, we'll just cut it in half. And I'll show you one of the ways. Ooh, yeah, that thing's cooked just perfectly. It's gonna be nice, fluffy. We'll give it a little bit of slice there and dice to break it up so we can get all the flavors put in it. Oh yeah. There we go. We're making a mess, but I always sanitize my counter in between each step so I could actually eat off of it. We're going to dust it with a little salt and a little pepper right there. And then we're going to put a little bit of sweet cream butter on it. And yes, we are. Put us a little pad on each one. These are not huge potatoes, so it isn't going to take a lot. We'll set this to the side. Now, I don't know if you do this. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Yeah, I've always been a big fan of going with some sour cream. But I learned something. Maybe you will too. Yep. Now, on occasion, I put some Philadelphia, chive, and onion. Cream cheese. Right on there. Ooh, yeah. Slather that on. Just like that. Get you plenty of it on. It'll be okay. Put it right on top of that melted butter and let it all get in there. Start melting up. And if you got that potato nice and warm and hot, it'll do just fine. I'm gonna have to use a finger here. Pardon my French. Oh yeah. And you ain't ever tried that? Philly cream, your favorite flavor on your baked potato? Maybe you should one time. We got that on there. Now we'll go ahead and get our other side. It ain't too fancy, it's sort of plain. This right over here on the stove. Yep. Green beans right there. Simple. And yep, they were out of a can. Because I'm cooking out of my pantry. Like I told y'all I would. Put us a nice spoonful of those luscious Libby's green beans. Now the only thing left is to pick whether it's chicken or pork tonight. And for me, because I know the kitty crew's waiting, I'm gonna go with this big plump chicken thigh right there. Oh baby. And that'll leave me a chicken thigh and 2 pork patties or pork chop, boneless. You know, stacks, because there's 2 thin ones per pork chop stack. So I got 3 more meals of meat waiting to go. Yeah, and I'll probably put a little butter on those beans. But let me bring you down and show you my plate for tonight. Or, you know, if y'all are hungry, y'all can divide up what's still in the baking dish. So there you have it. Lightly browned, bone in, skin on chicken thigh. Green beans with a medium baked potato with butter and Philly cream cheese. Chive and onion, that is. So, the only thing left is to give that chicken a taste test. Well, y'all, as you know, the only thing left to do is give it a taste test. Now, the beans aren't that interesting. Salt, pepper, canned green beans, Libby's of course. Well, not now. Now I'm buying great value. Those Libby's were bought back when prices weren't insane. And of course, just a simple baked potato. But what makes the baked potato so special is not only did I put some butter on it, but I added some of my favorite Philly cream cheese with chive and onion too. So we got us a nice piece of chicken. We're not going to fill up our whole mouth for just a taste test bite. And it's moist and cooked through. Yeah. That's some moist baked chicken. Mmm. Oh my. That slap your pants off tasty. Just the right amount of spice from that wishbone. Garden herb vinaigrette. And that's another thing I'll say. A lot of times now, we really lay on the spice. We dump a part of a bottle of this, a bottle of that, into where you really can't taste your dish anymore. You're just tasting all the flavorings. And I enjoy the taste of chicken and pork. And in my mind, and in other chefs, your spices shouldn't overwhelm the dish. It should be complementary and accompany the taste of the meat. And I totally agree. But you do you, and I'll do me. But yeah. And you can always pour a little bit of that sauce, which is now chicken broth, with a little garden herb vinaigrette to spice it up over the thigh as well. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, it's really moist. And part of the secret is not just the marinating process. Of course, the longer you do it, the more flavor you'll infuse into the meat. But it helps retain the moisture too. And then I'm sold on the fact, and have been all my life, keep that pole on up to the point where you want to brown it off. And that'll keep it as moist as it can be. So hey, it's getting late. It takes a long time to do these cooking videos, but I sure enjoy having you over for supper some nights. So as always, until the kitty crew, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, sometimes Heathcliff, a little fluffy muffin too, and of course the Princess Gracie, that was instrumental getting everything out, setting it up to prepare for this episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. See you on that next episode. Take care out there, my friends and family. Stay safe. Live as well as you can. And try to enjoy life as you could. And as always, may each and every one of you be blessed by God. Always. Goodbye for now. Yeah. This is tasty. And that's the first time I've used that dressing. Unfortunately, they don't make it no more. Yeah, another thing about this. I don't care what they say. Dark meat is juicier, has the most flavor, and definitely going bone in, skin on, makes it the flavorless it can be. It's a flavor bomb. Yeah. Pardon me. It's time to eat. Later on. Till next time we meet. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get Gracie. Give her some.